Hi, I'm Kim Riley from Seaside Music Management in Boca Raton, Florida, and we're here at Meisner Park Amphitheater on the John Waite Rough and Tumble Tour. He is here getting ready to perform live, and we're going to do a short interview with him in about 5 or 10 minutes about his live performances. John Waite comes from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and to date, through his career, he's been with the Babies, Bad English, and his solo career. And we're going to talk to him about all of that and what the differences are between those acts and what he's doing to date and the future. We're going to go sit with him in just a minute.
Where she's gone, I wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't a home anytime she goes away. When she's gone, only darkness every day.
Okay, we are here at Meisner Park Amphitheater, Boca Raton, interviewing John Waite on his Rough and Tumble tour. Hi, John.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Pretty good, yeah.
This is your 4th consecutive show in Florida this week. So I'd imagine you're tired.
Not really. We did a great show last night. It was so amped up. We went for a bite to eat afterwards and just collapsed. I was in bed by midnight and I didn't get up till like 7:30 this morning. So.
Okay, and you're traveling and it's raining.
You get used to it,
Florida.
you know.
Yeah.
It's sort of like used to be all keyed up all the time on the road, but you find a way of relaxing and finding that window, you know. Even when you're in the van driving, you kind of switch off. You know, you find a way to do that.
Which, yeah, I understand that. Okay, I'm very curious
or get
about...
a load of Valium, you know.
Better idea.
Well, hey.
I have a question for you about live performances.
Yeah.
I want to know, how do you feel about the industry today in regards to live performances and recording, etc., varying from 4 or 5 decades ago? As we know, there's been tons of changes. What is the biggest challenge for you as an artist today opposed to the 70s, 60s, or 70s?
Well, I think I've always done the same thing and approached it the same way, which is to be fairly stark, I think, in the performance. Back in the 70s, the best stuff that I did with the Babies was always the most unproduced, although some of it was quite good, I mean, I have to admit. But the stuff that I prefer was the stuff that sounded more live. And as I gained control of well, I always had control, actually. But I wanted to experiment back then, I suppose. But now, being older, you tend to return to what it was you loved when you were a kid and not want anything else in the way. So I think, as with the live performance, as with the studio, it's trying to keep it as organic without sounding hippie.
So in other words, these new digital consoles and things that are recorded digitally and all the technology, like you don't even really have to have talent sometimes today. You can go into a studio and sound good.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your thought is about how they've come with that.
Well, you know, I mean, some of the stuff that it's like Andy Warhol soup cans, it's all very modern and it's relative to society. It's like, it's digital tape, which is virtual tape.
Right.
Is the sound of now. So to record analog and pretend you're in the 70s is missing the point, I think. That's happened, and we've moved forward into these days. I think everything's very commercial now, so maybe it's...
So you're riding with technology. You're just going along for the ride with the technology.
Well, it's the other way around, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, but I did use digital recording on my last album and managed to make it sound pretty live.
Yeah, it's an excellent album, by the way.
Thank you.
And Rough and Tumble is your focus for this tour?
Yeah.
Okay,
so anything new comes out, it's going to be what we tour behind.
Right, so how many of the Rough and Tumble tracks are you playing, and are you incorporating the Babies, Bad English, and some solo songs as well?
Well, the only Bad English song I do is When I See You Smile. It just didn't suit me. That was a moment, and it was them and me, and that was good. I come out and do When I See You Smile acoustically. Because it's a sweet song when it's done acoustic.
It's fantastic, yeah.
So, and the audience sing along, and it seems pretty interesting, you know. The Baby stuff we do maybe 4, and the rest is the new stuff or stuff that we just can't look away from. That's like Downtown. There's some songs that are just we need to do, like Bluebird Cafe.
Sure.
They're moments, you know, acoustic moments, and the storytelling, you know. And although you can't be storytelling in a rock show too much, it's a great little aspect to the show to stop things and start those kind of songs. You know.
Right. And then tell me briefly how you chose the band for this particular tour, who they are, and
Well, Tim Hogan on bass. Tim's been with me for about 6 years, and we just get on like a house of fire. And he's a great bass player, very funny guy. You know, when you get up at 5 in the morning to do TV, and there's no coffee in the room, you know, and you get to the TV studio or something like that, and somebody's lost your suitcase. There's always somebody with a one-liner that's going to crack you up. Nothing's so written in stone that you can't laugh at it, you know?
right.
And he's great for that. He's like, makes it a lot more fun. And Rondo has been in the band for like 2 years. He came into the band to tour behind Rough and Tumble, and he's just a mainstay. We just love him. Tonight is actually Sean Haig's last night on guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's just moved to Chicago, and he's involved in agency stuff as well as being a great guitar player. But he's been with us for about 18 months, and he's been an interesting guy to play with because he's a blues guy. And although our music comes from sort of blues and country roots, I think, he's had to step sideways with it, and it's been a ride, you know. But he's suddenly risen to the occasion over the last 6 months, and it's been like really
Right,
wild.
so we're going to miss him. You're going to miss him.
I'm going to miss him terribly.
Okay. That's sad. Okay, one of my favorite traits about you is that you've always done your own thing and stayed true to who you are.
Well, does it say that there?
This is something that, because I've followed you since day one, and I know
Thank
that
you.
you're somebody who definitely stays true to your own music, what you do. And after The Babies in Bad English, you created a lot of solo work, which included one of my favorite albums, which was Temple Bar.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And is there anything in particular, or any album or show or performance or anything in your past that stands out for you the best, like that you like the most?
Well, I think the When You Were Mine album, which is what followed Temple Bar, that's the first time I got the sound I was really looking for. And I made it at Sia Sound in New York City, which is all analog tape and old instruments and old mics and a beaten up old grand piano. Walter Sia owned the studio. But that album, I was writing songs in the studio, and I thought I sang the best I'd sung in my life up to that point. And in some ways, I can't top it. It seems like it was, you know, I hit the
Just
ground.
one of those things you can't repeat.
Yeah.
It just was what it was.
It was a really crazy time, but I remember going to the studio for like 2.5 weeks and not really doing anything else but being there all day and going home, having a glass of wine, passing out, waking up early, making notes and recording, getting to the studio and sitting there listening to Blonde on Blonde.
Yeah.
And I had this white Buddha, and I'd have that there, and I'd make some Earl Grey and just listen to Blonde on Blonde or Blood on the Tracks, which are Dylan records, and just sort of get into that space of, it wasn't rock, but it was rock, but it wasn't obvious rock. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with arena rock or those guitar solos or, you know, that
Right,
stuff that's
right.
back in vogue. I mean, I've never been into that. When I left Bad English, when we broke up, that's when I made Temple Bar. I couldn't have possibly been that desperate and angry unless it had been in Bad English. I mean, when I left that, I was frustrated with what I'd done, and I wanted to sort of hit the truth pretty full on. So there's a reason for everything, really.
So it set up Temple Bar for you,
Yeah,
just
it
about.
did. It became more autobiographical, and it became first person. It became more lyric driven.
Maybe that's why it stands out so much for me
Yeah.
and some other people as well.
Yeah, I think
That's-
something like Downtown, it's almost like irony on irony, you know, it's about the East Village and memories and walking downtown every night.
Yeah.
And the Temple Bar.
Well, it's a great album. And what is in the future for you? I just wanted to ask one
Well, I
last
hope
question.
a long and happy life. I've no idea what's coming around the corner. I'm leaving for England on Monday, to see my mother for a couple of days.
That's nice.
I know. And then I'm going to come back and hit the road again. And there's a possibility of, it keeps coming and going, but we might go to Australia. But I don't know what's going to happen.
On this particular tour.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the end of the year. But there are like 20 more gigs listed, culminating in a couple of nights in New York City. So I really don't know. I mean, just work and more work and hopefully
Well, I know
a live
you're,
album, you know?
yeah, and I know you're going to keep creating and you're going to keep doing, and
Well, I hope so. At some point you want to just stay home and, you know, bounce a baby on your knee or something.
yeah.
I mean, you know, there's just the natural thing where you think, well, I've seen it, you know? And like, you know, with When You Were Mine, there's just these moments you've hit it so hard, you wonder if you could ever top it. So at some point you just want to go home, but at the moment I
Sure.
don't want to go home.
Go day by day. Well, I want to
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time with us. Inside Music Cast and Seaside Music Management, you did the interview Friday with Inside Music Cast.
Yeah.
And we thank you so much for your time.
I thought it might have been over the top because I was really slamming the music business.
No. We value your opinion as an artist,
Oh,
truly.
really?
So
Thank you.
I just, again, thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing your talents all these years that you've
Well, God
made.
bless you. Thank
You've
you.
made. It's hard for me as a woman in the industry. It's a male-dominant
Yeah.
industry, so I struggle a little bit.
The glass
But
ceiling.
people like you, and there's some other artists out there that really make it a pleasure to be in.
Thank you so
and
much.
make me
Thanks,
happy
Kim.
to be in it. So
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, what a great show that was. The band John Waite didn't miss a beat. They did fantastic. I'd like to thank John Waite, band, HD Effects Productions, and everybody behind the scenes that made this show a success. I'm Kim Riley from Seaside Music Management and Technical Productions here in Boca Raton, Florida. And you can catch John Waite on an in-depth interview on Inside Music Cast on June 26th at www.insidemusiccast.com. I'm Kim Riley. Catch you next time.